If you can feel the delay, you can also feel the release. I'll repeat that. If you can feel the delay, you can also feel the release. You done the vision board, you made the declaration, but the weight feels heavy. The blessing is still somewhere else where you can't see. It haven't landed yet. It's like you're on the edge of a breakthrough, but something not clicking. Let me whisper something sacred. The delay isn't a punishment. It's a signal, a divine alarm that your feelings code need to be adjusted. Because whatever you keep feeling, you keep creating. One of the mystics, the old mystic Neville Goddard said, if a physical effect can produce a feeling, then a feeling can produce a physical effect. What do that mean? We often don't realize how deeply we've been trained to feel according to external conditions. If the bills are paid, we relax. If someone validates us, we feel worthy. If we get the yes, we feel excited. But that pattern puts us away from our promised land, or should I say it pulls it, because we made feelings dependent on circumstances. Remember, this is why the mystic said, reverse it. I'm going to go deeper. If a situation can change your feelings, then your feelings can change the situation. Yes. I want you to think about that for a minute. This means that you don't wait for peace. You generate it. You don't wait for the yes. You carry it in your energy. You don't wait for overflow. You feel wealthy right now. And listen, the real revelation is feeling isn't a reaction, it's a decision. I must repeat that. Feeling isn't a reaction, it's a decision. Your emotions are not passive, they are prophetic. They whisper ahead of the manifestation and call it in. Must repeat that. Feelings isn't a reaction, it's a decision. Your emotions are not passive, they are prophetic. They whisper ahead of the manifestation and call it in. Yes, digest that. What I'm saying to you is the body follows the blueprint of your feelings. If your body feels tense every time you think about success, your nervous system will resist it. Even when opportunities knock, you must feel safety in success first. Do you notice I said safety in success first? Write that down. The next thing you need to know is emotional rehearsals is spiritual warfare. I said it. Emotional rehearsal is spiritual warfare. Did you know that the more you feel your breakthrough before it happens, the more your soul begins to expect it? And when you expect it, you magnetize it. Elevation doesn't start with changes. It starts with collaboration. You don't need a new plan. You need a new frequency. Feel the upgrade within to attract it without. I have several personal stories, but I'm going to go years ago with one of my clients. One of my clients was getting a prophetic correction on her goals. The mystics used to call it spiritual treatment. Nothing spooky about it. It's just being on one accord with that person. It is biblical, okay? I challenged one of my clients to go forth and take that energy that she had toward with building a man life totally. I have nothing against helping or bringing something to the table, but she was so involved with this person, or should I say a narcissist, who took everything, used her, and the rest was history. I challenge her in a prophetic goal or prophetic treatment to say, hey, take that energy and go and become a real estate agent. Yes. She said, I've been there, done that. And I said, well, what happened? She said, I didn't pass the test. That was years ago. But she was still connected to some type of real estate, but she was not an agent. And she actually went. Really didn't have no options because she was at the lowest point that she could be because what was done to her. But see, I looked at her potentials and I said, if you can do all of this for somebody who was in a situation and you took that situation and you brought it from 0 to 10, you could be even better in real estate. So she went and she took the test. She trained for it again and she studied for it and she went to take the test. But you know what happened? She called me and said, I don't, I told you this was going to happen. I didn't pass. And I said, yes, you did. See, this is when you as a mentor, you take on their faith. This is what the pastors do. This is what the evangelists do. This is what the prophet do. I stepped in and said, okay, we are going to lean on my faith because I see you as a real. Needless to say, she took the test again. Failed it. I said, well, who has to know that you failed it the third time because you took it years ago? I said, you are a realtor. She took it the fourth time. What happened is, the revelation here is she stopped resisting. She just did it because it was a bet and she had nothing to lose to gain. Maybe you say, okay, she had to pay the fee. She didn't mind doing that. You know why? Because she started wanting to cross that hurdle or the finish line. So the fourth time was a charm. She passed and she went on and used that license mixed with Airbnb. But at the same time, she was able to go ahead and be the realtor for that, even in flipping. Do you understand? I seen her as a realtor. She didn't. And the delay was she just wouldn't pass the test. When she did pass that test, nowhere on her back said, this person took this test 4 times. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, let's go to a scripture. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication. With thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Philippians 4:6. Listen, you can't be anxious and grateful at the same time. Do you notice that she was anxious at first, second? By the time she got to the third and fourth, she just was like, oh, I really don't care at this point. I'm just going to go do it. Gratitude is a feeling code. It opens the gate for what's been delayed. Feeling code collaboration. You might want to write this down. I want you to choose one area in your life where you've been anxious or even doubtful. We all been there. Now close your eyes and feel the opposite emotion. For an example, anxiety would be peace. So you go to the opposite. Confusion would be clarity. Lack would be security. Remember the security in the beginning when I read it? Remember the security before that I just said earlier? I want you to relax right now. And I want you to be a part of this. As you relax, I want you to repeat after me. I feel the outcome before it arrives. I embody it now. Now, I want you to breathe the feeling in, hold it for 90 seconds. Let your nervous system know it's safe to receive as you breathe it out. I want you to repeat this in a whisper out loud. I feel the outcome before it arrives. I embody it now. Why don't you repeat that for the next 7 days and see what happens? Here go one of mine. My feelings are prophetic. I no longer react. I recalibrate. I manifest the blessings through my inner speech. I'm going to say that right now. My feelings are prophetic. I no longer react. I recalibrate. I manifest the blessings through my inner speech. What I want you to think about as we end, where have your feelings been delayed? I want you to reflect on this. Ask yourself, where have I feeling the delay more than the promise? This is Whisper Unplug. Subscribe, share, and comment to keep the empowerment flowing. Until next time, unplug, transform, and manifest your promised land today.